Hi, this is Karen Rowland, founder of Hush Providence. Welcome to my new weekly Wellbeing podcast, Real People, Real Conversations, Real Life. We'll be talking about all things relating to the human experience. What makes up a life? What creates joy and happiness? What makes humans the same or different? How do we care for ourselves and each other? We'll even try to answer the 5 W's of well-being: who, what, when, where, and why, and how this all fits together. A little ambitious? Maybe, but join us as we connect with local topic experts, peers, mentors, and healers. Welcome to today's episode of Hush Providence, a Wellbeing podcast. I am thrilled to welcome Alana Almonte to our podcast today. She is the owner of Anchored Soul Gallery in Pawtuxet Village in Cranston, Rhode Island. She's an intuitive artist and a Reiki master and teacher. Full disclosure, Alana has been part of Hush Providence and providing her gift of Reiki to our sessions at the Temple to Music at Roger Williams Park for the past year. We have a new summer residency kicking off in June, so I'm excited to have you join us then. I've also personally attended a couple of your group Reiki sessions at the gallery, which are amazing and I highly recommend to everyone. So why don't we kick things off with, in March, you did a virtual conversation about the healing through art, and you shared your personal story. So why don't we start with that?
Sure. So I guess if we're talking about healing through art and how I kind of discovered that myself, I encountered a loss in my life. It was my sister, and it was a very sudden thing. It wasn't something that I was even slightly expecting. And so that was a lot to handle and deal with. And, my family was going through a lot of those same emotions. And obviously I have the background in art, but that wasn't my first go-to. I was doing all of the, talk therapy, crying it out, just trying to lean on people, especially knowing that there's other people around me that were going through something similar, expecting some sort of like relief. And really, I just needed to be with myself and figure out what I needed. And all I could think about, I was like, I just need to paint. I need to get this out in another way, because I couldn't really communicate my feelings, not even to my friends and family, or even to myself. I couldn't put it into words. So what was nice, as I was painting, I was just feeling my emotions as I was painting, and it suddenly started to make sense. I painted a picture. That's not always necessary to paint a picture. I mean, it could be something abstract, but I was really able to just put everything out, and it made me feel so much lighter. I felt like the message was really there on the canvas. And even after I painted the picture, there was somebody else who also resonated with it, and she ended up purchasing the painting, which I thought was just really beautiful, because it goes to show that you're not alone, and your art speaks, and it can really connect with other people in other ways. So yeah, I guess that was my aha moment of, wow, I can really heal through my artwork, not just through Reiki or talk therapy, whatever it is. I was able to do it myself. And that was really empowering, to just be able to get a hold of it on my own.
And from that, you opened the gallery, or?
And so the gallery did open in 2021. I had started my business prior to that, but the gallery, I'm approaching 2 years in May, so that's really nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a retired dental hygienist, though. That's really, Reiki helped me get to this point of opening up the gallery. And if it wasn't for Reiki, I wouldn't have the gallery. I know that sounds kind of interesting, but there was a woman at the front desk in my dental office who did Reiki or does Reiki. Her name's Laura Ahern from 3 Ohms Guidance. She's amazing. She really helped introduce me to this world and made me realize, wow, I love art, and I just took off with it, and Reiki helped clear my energy, my thoughts, and my perceptions of what I can do, what I want to do. And so now I incorporate art and Reiki in what I do, because if I can help other people do what it's done for me, then that's just such a great gift in my mind. So
Maybe you could take just a minute and talk about Reiki, just sort of define it for people that may not be familiar with it, and how what a typical Reiki session might look like at your gallery.
sure. So Reiki is a form of energy healing. It's, in a brief description, it's receiving the universal life force energy. And what that does, it helps to clear your energy centers in your body. We're all electromagnetic beings. We take on energy, we put out energy, we store it. So, something, we can store it in ways that block our energy. And when energy is blocked within us, it can create issues mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of it. So it just helps to clear, balance, and really gets into a deep state of relaxation so your body can recover. So in my gallery, the way that every Reiki practitioner is a little different. The way that I do things is I like to just kind of talk with people first, kind of set an intention for the session, see what you're going through, ask you maybe something that you want to release or attract, and kind of go off of that. And as I hear you out, I can choose different healing crystals to incorporate in the session, which I'll just place on the body. So you're laying on a Reiki bed, which is a massage table, fully clothed with some blankets, got meditation music. I put a little eye mask on, get all zoned out, and essential oils in the air and all that good stuff. And so then I'll lay the healing crystals on parts of the body, and there's some guided meditation. There's that's always like a channel thing. I never know where it comes from. And then I incorporate some sound healing too.
So you use crystals in your art as well.
Yes, and infuse that with Reiki, and Reiki, it just amplifies the energy of the crystals too. And there's so much power in Reiki symbols as well. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, the crystals, they have their own healing properties to them. They resonate with certain energy centers in your body. Like one might help open up the heart chakra, which be good for love and compassion, and or maybe even some grief that you're going through. So yeah, I like to work with intention, or intentionally with them, and create healing art.
That could probably be a whole podcast just talking about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have a favorite piece of art that you've created?
Ooh. First thing that comes to my mind, and it's probably because of the way that I went about it, it was Aphrodite, goddess of love. So she is made from, it was really big, and her hair was all driftwood that I had found. And then she had a seashell crown. So this is Aphrodite, like the goddess. And what I did was I got into a meditative state. I kind of channeled her energy. I got certain essential oils good for love, and kind of generating that whole vibe, and then chose healing crystals based off of that. The story is that she came in on a scallop shell. So in her crown was a big scallop shell. So there's just so much intention with it. And yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite piece.
The sunflower was pretty amazing too.
Oh yeah, thanks. I love that too. I love them all, but I think that was the very first one to be like, wow, I did that.
And now a shout out to our sponsor, the Good Seed Market, 138 Central Avenue, Seekonk, Massachusetts. Started in 1989 by three friends with a goal of creating a neighborhood market offering simple, natural, organic products for a healthy lifestyle. Now a member of the independent Natural Foods Retailer Association, our friends at The Good Seed are offering our listeners a 10% discount on their first purchase just by mentioning Hush Providence. The Good Seed Market, a place where ideas can grow. So maybe just take a minute and talk about what programming you have coming up. I know you're sort of experimenting with some new programs at the gallery, so maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, I've always offered different workshops, and I found that there was a consistent review, if you will, that people were getting in this very meditative state, and like they just were so surprised at how they just zeroed in on something and just totally forgot about all their problems, and were so proud of what they made. And so I'm creating I believe it's going to be a 6-month program where we will be diving into the chakras and energy centers in your body, but working from an intuitive space. So we'll be focusing our intention with your intuition. So tapping into your own energy, seeing how you feel, kind of going off of that and just creating from an authentic space that is healing, if that makes sense. And it'll be also inspired by like the guided meditations. There will be, handouts and things like that go along with it, a Facebook group and guest speakers coming in. We'll incorporate astrology and spiritual guidance and Reiki, tarot cards, kind of that whole spiritual realm, but just with a huge main focus on accessing your intuition in order to create these healing pieces of art and just expressing yourself in that way.
That's awesome. And when are you starting with that?
I have a goal of starting that in July. So
Nice.
Registration being in June and then starting in July.
And how can people reach out to you? Like, what is your website?
My website is anchoredsoulri.com. And there is if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, there will be a little form that you can fill out there and just inquire about it. You can follow me on social media too, Anchored Soul on Instagram, and then Anchored Soul also on Facebook. And I always put on my website too, on that pop-up, all the updated workshops that are coming up. So there's a few different workshops too that are kind of going to be similar to the program, but not exact, not as in depth, but something similar where you get into meditative state and all of that.
Alana, thank you so much for sharing your personal
Welcome.
story. I mean, it's been amazing. And I know your sister's very proud of you, what you've been able to accomplish and heal yourself. And not only yourself, but to also take this to the community and help others heal as well and help them with their way forward. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing this podcast. And I have one more question for you. You're sort of a role model and inspiration to your two beautiful girls. How do they inspire you?
Ooh, they inspire me because they don't think about, they do, so when they're in their creative mode, I love it. They grab whatever they're feeling at that moment, or it's colored pencils or paint, and then they just go to town. They're not thinking about what the neighbors are going to think about their piece of art. They actually they'll be in my gallery with me on a Saturday and they're painting. They're like, "Mommy, I want to sell this." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." They don't think about, what other people are thinking. And, not that I personally do, but I can appreciate that. And it's very inspiring. And I think that that's just something I want to continue to carry out in life.
Absolutely. For all of us, right?
Just go with it.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you soon. I need to book my Reiki appointment. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Hush Providence, a Wellbeing podcast. This would not be possible without the incredible help from Jamie Farinella and Stephanie Whitehead on branding and logo concept, John Papa's endless generosity, David Davignon and Austin Lynch for their skilled technical expertise, and of course, our amazing guests and all of you, our listeners. Until next time, Be well.